Over the last several years, we've essentially watched Disney implode on themselves. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about box office disappointments, streaming disaster, losing billions of dollars each and every quarter, or even at the theme parks where Universal is continuing to gain ground on Disney when people thought there was never a chance for anything like that to happen. And of course, Disney, instead of admitting the obvious, that they spent far too much time pushing their audience away, pushing their fans away in favor of pushing woke identity politics and an agenda down everyone's throat. Instead, they decided to blame everyone else, specifically the state of Florida. And last week, they even decided, you know what? We're going to sue the state of Florida. We're going to sue Ron DeSantis. We're going to sue Florida because they were so mean to us. And how exactly were they mean again? Oh, that's right. Removing the illegal process that Disney had basically been using for the past several decades and making sure that Disney's being treated just exactly the same way as Universal, as SeaWorld, as every other entity out there, every other company, every other business. Disney simply now is operating within the bounds of the laws like everyone else, and they can't handle it. They can't admit that they are the ones who actually drove their audience away, that the reason they lost over $100 billion in market value, the reason their stock dropped 44% last year, had far more to do with them pushing an agenda than it did with anything the state of Florida did. And in fact, when Florida simply tried to put a law in place that protected families, protected children, you know, what used to be a big key demographic for Disney, they decided to fight the state of Florida. They decided that they were going to go to war over the right for teachers to sexualize kindergartners. That's what Disney decided to do. And now, in desperation, now that everything's been taken away, all these special advantages that they have been taken away from them, their last desperate move was to sue Ron DeSantis and the state of Florida. Well, despite the fact that this is a Hail Mary, a desperation attempt, go watch analysts like Legal Mindset. He's broke it down time after time why this is completely within the law and Disney has nothing that they can do. That's why they're taking this tactic. Despite all that, Florida's not going to take this sitting down. They are also countersuing Disney. DeSantis-appointed Florida board votes to countersue Disney as fight over anti-grooming law intensifies. The fact that this all came to a head over Disney wanting to push the sexualization of kindergartners, first graders, second graders, third graders, it's weird that it all started there, isn't it? The Central Florida board that was appointed by Ron DeSantis to oversee Disney's special tax district has voted to countersue the company in what's becoming an all-out court battle between the two sides stemming from the state's anti-grooming law protecting children from LGBTQ indoctrination. On Monday, members of the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District Board of Supervisors held a meeting where they voted to sue the Walt Disney Company in a state court. And again, this all happened because Disney tried to pull a last-minute thing. They tried to pull something where they're like, hey, we're going to switch it up so we actually still have power over this government oversight board. But that wasn't legal. So Florida said, no, you can't do that. We'll litigate that. We'll take that to court. So in desperation says, well, we're just going to sue you then. We'll bring all the might of one of the biggest companies in the world down on you. And Florida's now saying, well, I guess bring it on. Since Disney sued us, we have no choice but to respond. The lawsuit is expected to try to uphold the new board's move to invalidate Disney's development agreement with Reedy Creek, something that happened decades ago, right? The Orlando area district where Disney World has enjoyed self-governing privileges for nearly 5 decades. So yes, in the past 50 years, they've had advantages that no other company has had. That Universal didn't have, SeaWorld, none of these companies that are here have the same advantages. Well, now Disney is simply going to be operating without any special privileges from the government. They're going to be operating the same way as every other single business entity out there. And this is, again, a desperation attempt. Florida is countersuing them back. It's not going to end well for Disney, just like the entire way it hasn't gone well for them. This fight has gone very, very poorly for them, despite the mainstream media trying to gaslight everyone into thinking that Disney's got Florida right where they want them. No, they're panicking right now, and that the final action to try to sue everybody involved, that was the last-ditch, desperate attempt to try to get a judge that's favorable. And maybe it'll have to go to appeals before it actually gets shut down. But when you look at it, they have no legal standing against the state of Florida. It just continues to get worse for them. But when you decide to prioritize all these things that families and your fans and your audience do not care about, this is inevitably the situation you find yourself in. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.